Hi guys, welcome back to the Lovin Abu Dhabi show. My name is Lina and today is Wednesday 26th of August. So midweek, but as you know we guys have Friday off, so very much excited about that. But before you go into the weekend, let's start from the news. So a 17-year-old student died in a car crash while returning from Quaa stargazing spot. So an Indian expat family in the UAE is mourning the loss of a 17-year-old Nababiba Sinha who died in a car crash on August 13th. She was returning from watching the Perseids meteor, Gulf News reported. So her mother said that she received messages from both children because the girl also had her brother and their friend with them. And they said they would reach home soon, shortly before the family was informed about the crash. So Nabanipa had just finished grade 12th and was set to start university in Dubai on a 50% scholarship. Her family and parents describe her as the light and remember her hard work, caring, and how close she was to her brother. So her funeral was held in Jebel Ali on August 18th. I know, guys, it's a sad story. It's definitely heartbreaking when a 17-year-old bright student loses her life in a car crash. So we are sending all the love to her family and we pray that her soul rest in peace. So moving on to our next story today. So the UAE is stepping up petrol and public transport to make sure that school runs smooth. So basically this initiative will introduce the patrols and traffic wanderers who will increase around the major school roads. So basically there will be more people who will watch how the bus school runs, how the traffic runs, and this is all for the sake of students, of course. So officers will also monitor pedestrian crossing and help manage school buses movements. Also, the same initiative is happening in Dubai. The RTA has launched a 30-day school bus introspection campaign, checking the drivers and attendants have the required permits, which is super important, especially when it comes to the safety of the kids, right? So Dubai students can also get 50% off RTA services, including the metro, tram, and buses, and more taxis will be soon available across school zones. And also 30+ bus routes are getting increased frequently. So Abu Dhabi students, we hope you're gonna get some nice discounts as well. And you also get more taxis around your area. But generally it's definitely super important when these things happen, ahead of school season, because this is how you know that your children will be getting home comfortably, safely, and everything basically runs smooth. And this is why Abu Dhabi and Dubai governments are doing this. Okay, so we are done with the news today, and as you guys know, today is a very special day. Again, we are on our third day of Influencers Marathon, and I would love to introduce our new, our very smiley, very positive guest who might be a little bit nervous, but we're gonna help her. Please welcome Hannah.
Thank you for having me.
This is for you.
Thank you. These microphones. I'm very nervous. I don't even know why.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry. I feel like everyone gets nervous, but
it's because it's live.
It's live, but we have very nice people watching
Everybody here is lovely.
Guys, be nice. Let's say hi to Nana. Let's welcome her to our channel.
You're very sweet.
So I think it's time to start, the conversation. And of course, we want to know about your Abu Dhabi experience, right?
Yeah.
So let's go back to when it all started.
Mm-hmm.
What brought you to Abu Dhabi?
We came out here on holiday. We stayed with some friends, and we were just here for 5 days. And by the end of the 5 days, we were like, we want to move out here. So we were sat at the airport, ready to go home, and we were both on LinkedIn, my husband and I, looking at jobs, and he ended up finding a job, and a few months later we landed in Abu Dhabi with a one-way ticket.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay, that's a beautiful story, right?
Yeah.
So when did you feel like, okay, Abu Dhabi is my home?
I think it took us, obviously moving to a new country, it takes a while to settle, but I think it took us maybe 2 months. Maybe when we got into our apartment and we settled down and we had a routine and stuff, that's when it really felt like we were home. Yeah.
And did you feel like that was it your first trip to Abu Dhabi before you decided
Yeah,
to
we'd never
settle?
been to the Middle East at all. It was our first time, and yeah, we just absolutely loved it. And I think because we were staying with friends, it meant that we got to see the kind of like real life side of Abu Dhabi rather than being here on holiday, you know, maybe staying in Yas Island and, you know, doing all of that stuff. We kind of did the normal day-to-day stuff,
Yeah.
which is what made us realize that we could actually see ourselves living here.
And what do you think, like, okay, so before you traveled here, obviously you had like some certain expectations of what Abu Dhabi would be. So how were the expectations versus reality?
Well, it's different, isn't it? Because my vision of Abu Dhabi coming into it was more like just seeing Dubai. You see Dubai everywhere around the world, you know, you see what the expectations are of Dubai, but I had nothing for Abu Dhabi at all. I really had no idea what to expect from Abu Dhabi. And during that trip, when we came on holiday, we did go to Dubai as well. So it was interesting to see Dubai was exactly what I thought it was going to be. And then when we actually stayed in Abu Dhabi, it was just like so different and so calm and so friendly and welcoming. And yeah, it felt like home very quickly.
And so when you just moved, you already had idea that you want to do content, or like how did you get there?
Not really. I think I started making content because I started making the content that I wanted to have when I moved here. So I started sharing like the everyday stuff, which is what, you know, when I first started making content, no one was really showing every day. You know, where did people get their groceries, or what does a normal day look like for somebody who's normal in Abu Dhabi, you know? So that's what I started to do. And yeah, I wasn't expecting it to become my job or anything. It just kind of, you know, people resonated with it, and yeah, it became very popular.
And I feel like you do obviously a lot of lifestyle content, right? So do you think Abu Dhabi has affected your idea of like nice lifestyle?
Definitely. There's definitely things that we do here that I would never do if I was still living in the UK. Like, you know, it's very common for people to have a cleaner here, and it's just, you know, very normal thing. Or, you know, this morning I was thinking it's so funny how you can pull up your car outside a coffee shop and just honk, and like it's just expected that someone will come out and take your order. Like I would just never do that anywhere else, but here it's just very normal. So yeah, there's funny little things that, you know, if you were to ask me off the top of my head, I would forget about, but in the moment you're like, oh, that's so UAE.
yeah. Have you seen it like anywhere? I don't think like outside people do it. Yeah, I think
I don't
it's
think
such
so.
a
And there's
thing.
sometimes like when my parents come and stay, and I'm like, oh, you can just do this, and they're like, what? That's so weird, but it works.
Yeah, I feel like people like, you know, because we have like our ways here, you know, and when people who are not very much, you know, like familiar with it, they get,
Yeah.
I feel
really
like
does just work. Like everybody just accepts it.
Exactly.
It works. Yeah.
And I feel like you're very like honest and very, I would say, open with your audience. You talk about a lot of stuff, but are there any things that you would like to keep private?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like very personal things. I try and show. I try and keep it Abu Dhabi focused, you know, because that's why people follow me in the first place. But yeah, I try and keep things private. My account kind of blew up when I did a house hunting series. And it's funny because when you're doing content, there's a balance between what you want to share versus what you want to keep private. And when I was doing the house hunting series, I feel like people immediately knew the buildings that I was going to, or they recognized the building that I live in, and it kind of felt a little bit too close, you know. So it's just figuring out the balance between what to share versus what to keep private.
Did someone recognize you on this house hunting tour?
Yes, I actually have. So one of my videos that did go viral was my own apartment tour, and so many people were commenting on it and what my building was. So I had to like block the name of the building from the comments because so many people knew where I lived. I was like, oh god, yeah. But you know, you learn, you live and you learn.
But do you like when people approach you, like how do you feel? Does it make you like shy, or like you want to go like, oh my god, no, that's not me?
I love it. I really do. It really makes my day. And I do get like embarrassed because I'm like, oh my god, these people actually like watch me. Sometimes like when you're filming yourself or whatever, it's just like, you know, it's a video, whatever, but people actually watch you and they recognize you, and that's really nice to know that, you know, I resonate with people. And some people will come up to me and they will mention something that I mentioned maybe on a story 3 weeks ago, and I've forgotten about it, but you know, they remember, and that's really nice. The community that I've built are very supportive and friendly, and yeah, it's just a lovely unexpected thing that I didn't expect out of moving here. So yeah.
I remember when I first saw your blog, it was about like apartment hunting, right?
Yeah.
And now it's like a big part of your blog, obviously, right?
Yes.
So how did this passion for real estate started at all in Abu Dhabi?
To be honest with you, when we first moved here and we were looking for our first apartment, I loved the process of finding an apartment. I really, really loved it. But we actually found our apartment. It was one of the first ones we saw, and I was kind of like a bit sad that I didn't get to see more because I really just loved the process of looking for an apartment. So then when our lease came up, I was like, oh, I'm going to look for another apartment again. I just found it really fun. And I filmed the process, and it turns out that lots of other people also like to see apartment tours. So that went really well. It got like a few million views, which was insane. And then earlier this summer, actually, I decided to really make a thing of it and start a new channel, which is called Hannah's House Tours, where I show people what's available in Abu Dhabi from every kind of budget. And I love seeing the kind of 7-bedroom Sadia villa mansions just as much as I like seeing the studio apartments. I'm just a nosy person by nature, and I feel like clearly a lot of other people are too, because it seems to be doing really well. So yeah,
I feel like it's fun when you watch these videos and you're like, okay, imagine me living there. What kind of life would I have there? Like, what would be the scenario?
It's so funny because sometimes I'm like out all day filming these these villas in Sadia on the beach, and like, infinity pools, and I'm like, oh guys, look at this house. And then I come home to my apartment and I'm like, oh, well, that was a come down.
Yeah, I understand. So I guess now you're like the person to go for like real estate advice.
Okay.
Right?
I hope so. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I've definitely seen my fair share of properties here.
So let's say your friend is coming to Abu Dhabi, right? And they're like, okay, I need to buy property. What would be the like 3 advice that you give, like something to look out for, as in like in green flag, and what to be like careful with as a red flag?
I think you definitely have to be careful with agents that you choose. You make sure you do your research and talk to people who have used the agents that you're looking to go with, because that's a big thing here. I think location wise is very important, whether you are buying a property for yourself to live in or if it's something to rent out as an investment or an Airbnb or something. That's also important to consider. And then obviously budget. You don't want to overextend yourself, and you want to make sure that you can afford the payments or whatever, and not kind of get tied up into something that you're not comfortable with in the future.
Well, since we're talking about real estate, I have a great idea.
Okay.
So why don't we play a game?
Okay, let's do it.
Real estate, connected.
Okay.
So guys, we're live on Instagram right now. If you have any questions to Hannah, please feel free to share them, and also take part in the game with us, right? Yeah. So we're gonna play a real estate would you rather.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I love that.
So my first question for you: would you rather tour a 50 million mansion or a 5 million apartment, but with the best view in Abu Dhabi?
That is hard because I've done both of those things, and both of them have their pros and cons. I think probably, I don't know. Maybe the villa. Maybe the villa. 50 million. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I think because I think it's something so aspirational, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's so different probably to what I would ever achieve in my entire life. So it's just amazing to be able to see how the other half live.
Yeah, I think it does make sense. So the next would you rather, guys, make sure that you take part with us. So would you rather have a huge kitchen or a huge walk-in wardrobe?
Oh, walk-in wardrobe. Easily. Easy.
A small kitchen.
Easy, yeah. Tiny kitchen. I don't need to cook. I can just order in. I live in Abu Dhabi after all, so yeah, it's got to be the wardrobe.
Yeah. Would you rather have an unlimited money for property or unlimited time to hunt? So like if you have money, it's only for short time.
Probably money.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's fair. And you would pick just any first one that you see.
Yeah, that's fine. I feel like I have a good knowledge now where I'd be like, okay, straight to Sadia, please.
You have experience, yeah, definitely. Would you rather have Yas Island on your doorstep or Corniche views from your balcony?
I think Yas Island, because I think Yas Island is being developed in such an incredible way, which we already know, and just what an incredible place to have on your doorstep. You know,
I kind of feel like, because I used to live by Corniche, I feel like I would go for Corniche, because
Okay.
the views that you get are like
True.
incredible, guys.
True.
And also the fact that you can just like, you know, go outside and walk there, it's magical.
Yeah, but then you could also have Disneyland on your doorstep in a few years.
It's
So
okay, I can take cab. So next one, would you rather have a huge villa in Khalifa City or a smaller home on Saadiyat?
Sadia, always Sadia. I'd have a studio apartment in Sadia over a mansion anywhere else, because just to have that beach, nothing is better than Sadia Beach. So to have that beach right on your doorstep would be a dream. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Saadiyat. I think
Yeah.
okay, first of all, I haven't been a lot to Khalifa City, so like I may not know like the area great, yeah, but I love Saadiyat. There's so much to do, and just like the vibe of it. There's also university, so I don't know, it just like feels like the place to be.
Especially now when it's being developed so much,
yeah,
right?
100%. Yeah. Well, a lot of things are coming.
Yes.
Yeah. So, our very last would you rather, have a private beach or a private cinema at your Abu Dhabi home?
A beach.
A beach.
A
Okay.
beach, because you can't have that in most places in the world. Right? But you could have a cinema. I could have a cinema room in the UK if
Yeah.
I was rich, but I can't have a private beach. So I would choose
yeah,
private
that
beach.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a question for you from our audience. Would you become a real estate agent?
No.
Okay, but I think we need more context.
Okay, so what I do now is just like content, right? I love showing apartments or houses. I love showing an audience online, but I don't want to deal with clients. I don't want to be working 24/7.
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
I do the fun part, and someone else can do the bit that I don't like. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's completely understandable. Like, yeah, I feel like I do know like a few like real estate agents, and I feel like there's no like life work balance doesn't exist in that.
It doesn't. It
Yeah.
doesn't.
Well, I feel like a lot of people might agree with you, but if you're hustle, that's like a full like new level of respect.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Just a reminder, today is the third day of our content marathon, and tomorrow is going to be the last day, and we also will have another guest. So let's say thank you to Hannah for joining us today. It was a very great and fun conversation that we had. And so catch us live tomorrow at the same time, 2 p.m. on Instagram, and also you can watch Lovin Abu Dhabi show every weekday at 8:30 a.m. also on their Instagram. But if you just like busy, life happens, and you want to hear our podcast, you want to listen to it, you can go to Podio, to Spotify, and all our Lovin platforms. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. Bye.